So let's keep moving to some of the other things that are going on. We probably have a lot of college alums here. We've got the wonderful opportunity to say hello to our dean, Jim Valentini, who's in the audience here today. Jim, just kind of stand up and raise your hand. Lee had a difficult August with a resignation of our current dean, and there was some discussion among the alums if there was a lot of commitment to the college and the core and need blind admissions and financial aid, et cetera. And Jim came in today with a lot of support from Lee and made a great presentation. So Lee, talk a little bit about the college and its importance in the university.
Well, we all know that the college, the undergraduates that we do, absolutely central to the university. And part of that experience that we regard as so crucial is the core curriculum. It's one of the great inventions by Columbia. It is unique in the United States. It could never be repeated today for a variety of reasons at any other university, in part because it's actually very, very expensive to mount every single year. But we're committed to it. It's great, and the student satisfaction with it is as high as it's ever been. We're also very proud to be one of a handful of institutions that lives by the principle of need-blind admissions. So if you come from a family that cannot afford to come to Columbia, we will pay all of your expenses if you're $60,000 or less in your family, and very generous financial aid above that as well. We have great students. We want to keep great students. The faculty are deeply committed to this. All of this is not going to change. We're not ever going to change the commitment to the core curriculum, and we're not going to change the commitment to need-blind admissions or to getting the very best students from the United States and around the world. Like any part of the university, we really want to always be involved in trying to think about how to improve it. Improvement is the essence of university, and debate and engagement with faculty and with students and with alums about how to do things better is what created the core curriculum in the first place and what will keep it alive in the future. So how do you educate a student in today's global world ready to understand what's happening in China and India and other countries around the world? How do we do that, and how do we integrate that into the undergraduate experience and including the core curriculum? These are the kinds of issues we should take up and will take up, but the essence is unchangeable.
So, when I remember coming back and meeting you the first summer you took over, and one of the observations you had is that Columbia was landlocked, and that we needed to do something about that. And over a period of years, what you had, it took a vision of expanding the campus to the north to where today Manhattanville is real. Well, talk about that a little bit. Some of it being your vision and what you see being there and what progress we're making. I'm sure that a lot of people know, and there are probably others from other parts of the country and the world that really haven't seen it and know exactly what it's all about.
So Columbia, of course, begins in the history of Columbian space in the modern era begins in 1968. And that's the year, of course, of the gymnasium controversy. And that was so rancorous and so problematic for the university that in the years and decades after that, as Columbia as we used up our space on Morningside Heights and up at Washington Heights, we simply did not have the opportunity to build. As knowledge grows, as faculty and students need more space, we just couldn't do it as well. Universities grow, believe it or not, on average at about 1 million square feet every decade. That's just what you have to have in order to be a vibrant university. Columbia couldn't do this. In the 1990s, the NIH budget was doubled. Our medical center, our basic sciences, really depend upon the NIH, and we fell because we couldn't expand to take advantage of the new money from NIH, from about 5th or 6th in the country to 14th or 15th where we are today. That's an unacceptable result for a great university. So these were real problems we were facing. So I decided very early on not to fight this building by building, block or just space lot by lot, but to take on a big idea of a whole new campus nearby, 18 acres, which is actually what originally we had coming from Midtown up to Morningside Heights, 17 acres. And we would try to get rezoning and eminent domain if needed, but hopefully not. We would try to get rezoning for the entire 18 acres at one time and do a campus. We went in with 7 million square feet of space that we wanted on these 18 acres. We promised to take care of every single resident who lived there. Unfortunately, the space between 125th and 133rd, Broadway and 12th Avenue had only a couple of hundred people who lived there. We promised everyone they would have a better life than that, and we proceeded to negotiate with 33 of the 36 property owners successfully. And then the final 3 we had to deploy or rely on the state for eminent domain. Those are not local residents. We said we would never use eminent domain against residents, but only against property that was owned by people outside the community, as in this case. And as of a year ago, that process was successful. And we now have rezoned this entire 18 acres. We never have to go back again for approvals. This is an astonishing thing in Manhattan to have this space in which to build. So,
give the audience a little feel for what schools are going to be down there.
Yep.
And how you view that the property there.
So in the process of trying also to deal with our immediate needs, especially for our scientists in arts and sciences, and we can talk also about how we've tried to help the medical center, but for our arts and sciences and our C's engineers, we built the last building on the Morningside Heights campus 115 years after Seth Low laid the cornerstone for Low Library. That's the so-called Northwest Corner building, and we're still looking for a naming gift for that. That's why it's called Northwest Corner.
You have any ideas out there, give us a call.
Yeah. It is not Mr. and Mrs. Northwest Corner that named it. And we have wonderful interdisciplinary groups in there now. That building, designed by Rafael Mineo, the great Spanish architect, looks north as well as inward, and Columbia completes a space that's extremely beautiful now, looks north to the new Morningside Heights campus. In 4 years from now, possibly 5, but I'm determined to make it 4. A 400,000 square foot fantastic laboratory facility built by Renzo Piano, designed by Renzo Piano, will open, and we will have in it the greatest interdisciplinary group in the world working on mind-brain behavior. The neuroscience, led by Eric Kandel, Richard Axtell, and Tom Jessel, the first 2 being Nobel Prize winners. They will lead a really unbelievable group of neuroscientists and then related disciplines, economics and law, and biophysics and statistics and so on, that will be unmatched any place in the world. Next to it will be the School of the Arts, and Carol Becker is a wonderful dean. I noticed her in some of these trips that have been taken, and she's leading the School of the Arts to locate in Manhattanville, and then a new conference center that will be the first that Columbia has for major events. SIPA, School of International Public Affairs, will be next to the School of the Arts, and then just north will be the Business School. The engineering school is also planning for a building there. That only takes up a third or just a fraction of what's now available, which we leave for future chairs of the trustees and presidents of the university. to
It's,
talk about at CAA meetings.
If you have a chance while you're here, over this weekend,
Go
you have a
look
chance
at
to
it.
get down there, you should look at it. And we have other trustees. Kyriakis-Chikopoulos, I see, is in the room. I don't know if Philip Milstein, they handle, what we used to call buildings and grounds, physical assets, and have really good understanding of everything that's being built there and how it's being built.
Yeah.
But this is a product of a 9-year vision by our president that right now is tangible. You can touch it. The approvals are there, and the buildings are being built.